Welcome, everybody, in the Movie Guys verse. This is Jordan here, part of Movie Guys Podcast. We wanted to say thank you so much for downloading this most recent episode. If you don't know what Movie Guys Podcast is, we are a new movie review show that is updated weekly. You can check us out at movieguyspodcast.com and also movieguyspodcast.podbean.com. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another awesome episode of the Movie Guys Podcast. And tonight we're talking about Triple Frontier. And I am Jordan, and I'm joined here, like always, with Eric and Ed. Eric, how you doing tonight?
Hanging out, enjoying the Triple Frontiers from a couch. The beautiful scenes of Brazil. What was it? Peru. In Venezuela, these are the three frontiers that they're talking about in South America. Ed, what do you think? That's what you're referring to, right?
I would definitely pass on the heart out just for your hat. We would have to go back for it.
God damn it! How do you come up with this shit?
I'm just smarter than you.
Yeah, he is.
Although we can't see your hat on camera, you got to show everybody your hat, bro. There you go. There we go.
A little bit right there.
There we go.
So if you are listening to the show and you're not watching to us live on YouTube before the edited version comes out, Eric is wearing his St. Paddy's Day hat because it is a few days after St. Paddy's Day here, and I'm Irish, so St. Paddy's Day was a big fun drinking day with me. I bought a bottle of Tullamore and drank majority of it in one night. Had a great time. Watched my classic. Yeah, I do. It's been a tradition in my household. I buy Irish whiskey, and Gina and I watch the Simpsons episode where it's Homer versus the Eighth Amendment, which takes place on St. Paddy's Day, where Springfield in the Simpsons world finds out that they have never abolished Prohibition, and Homer becomes a beer baron.
Oh, I got one. If this review is done right, then we'll have 3 reviews and 1 dead movie.
Wow.
Because in the movie they were doing the...
There you go.
When they were doing the mission.
5 minutes later, he comes in.
I picked up what you were throwing down. I definitely did.
You know what? It didn't need to be explained, but I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. Well, tonight, since you're listening to this episode and you've downloaded it, you know that tonight we're talking about Triple Frontier, and starring Ben Affleck and the guy from Sons of Anarchy.
There were more people.
There's a lot of people. This is a lot of stars attended. So Ben Affleck, Oscar Isaac, Charlie Hunnam, Garrett Hedlund, and Pedro Pascal.
Exactly. Directed by somebody that nobody cares about.
Geez, instead of reviewing the movie, why don't we just tweet what you're going to say so nobody has to watch it?
Hey, I'm not going to say that I hate the movie. I'm just saying that I don't. Who cares about the director? I mean, he's not Tarantino here. He's not David Gordon Green. He's not Spielberg.
Well, this is unfortunately one of those movies where the trailer kind of gave it away. So we've seen this type of movie before, whether it be what's that, Three Kings?
Mm-hmm.
Was that one, right? Kind of a heist movie, Inside Job or Inside Man or something like that. Just basically a heist movie. Oh, yeah, you had said a few of those. So yeah, a heist gone wrong type of movie, involving some good old boys, some special op boys.
Is this a heist movie? Is this a heist movie?
It was a heist movie.
Is it a heist movie? Because I wonder why they call it Triple Frontier. Because there 3 different kind of movies going on here?
No, they're calling it Triple Frontier because they had to heist their booty over 3 different zones in South America, 3 different frontiers.
Great, that's why they're calling it. But I'm asking for our
Jungle Mountain, and Beach, right? 3 frontiers.
Sure, but then I'm saying, for the sake of our review on this, is it because there's 3 different movies here? You got a Marine movie, you got a heist movie, and you got a jungle survivalist movie.
Either way,
they don't know what
one
movie
messy movie. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that, boys. But you were in this one for the action. Like I
What action?
saw the trailer, and I saw the people attached to it, and I was like, okay, well, I got nothing else to do on a weekend. Let's give it a watch, and then it was just an action heist, machine gun explosions. I'm reading all the keywords off of the title here: automatic rifles, special forces, operatives,
live ammo, live rounds. Like, is that not a thing?
These are all just basically flex words. If I had to say anything,
anything we can hashtag that gets us gets it out there, right?
What action? I wanna ask that real quick. What
There's
action?
a lot of tense moments here, man. They had to go into a drug lord's house or whoever that is, and kind of secure the area. Okay, so we had said before that when we were looking up this movie, it said that they are claiming to use live ammunition during this. And can you not see that maybe, and they said the reason why they were doing it because it would affect their behavior, the actors' behaviors with the guns. Did you not see that at all during this movie, how their behavior was okay?
No. I'm sorry. I mean, like...
Well, then I guess fucked my point then, you know?
No, you can have your point. Hold on, Ed. You can have your point, Eric. The reason why that I call bullshit on it is that I'm not going to believe that Star Wars guy is going to sign a contract, including Ben Affleck's going to sign a contract where they're shooting fucking live ammunition. I'm just not going to believe it. I don't care what you tell me. I'm not going to believe it. It's absolutely absurd.
No, I don't like it. I don't like the fact that 2 + 2 is 4. I want it to
You're
be.
You're going to sit here and talk about Ben Affleck is going to sign on a contract that says live ammunition. I don't believe that he would actually. Come on.
He signed Giggly.
Well, okay, fine. He did sign Giggly. That's true.
Look. That was the first thing that pops up about this movie. I mean, do I know for a fact? No. I wasn't there. I wasn't on scene or on set. But I can tell you this. I mean, these guys looked different handling these guns. I didn't assume it wasn't because they didn't know what they were doing. I didn't know what to think. And then when we started to discuss the movie after the fact and we found this out, okay, it makes sense to me.
All right, fine. So
I'm not saying I know for a fact. I'm just saying that it makes sense.
All right, so let's get to the nuts of the film here. What you are hearing us review today is a Netflix release film called Triple Frontier, starring Ben Affleck, and what's his name from Star Wars?
It doesn't matter. Oscar Isaac.
Poe Dameron.
No, I'm sorry, not Poe, but what's his name? Oscar what?
Oscar Isaac. Get the name. He's a fantastic talent, and you surely knows him by now.
Okay, Oscar Isaac. Okay, so this movie is about a team of special forces, ex-Marines, SEALs, whatever you want to call
saying
it.
those buzzwords, dude. We really need the clout.
Yeah. So this movie is about a team of ex-special forces that are all retired doing dead-end jobs. One of the guys gets a lead to take down a drug lord, and they're going to go over there to kill the drug lord and steal his money, which is an illegal job. They're going to steal $250 million, and they have to helicopter it from one place to the other with obstacles and issues along the way.
Remember, it was only supposed to be $6 million. That was the big. That was the big.
75.
Yeah, 75. That was the big catalyst to the movie and why they had to do what they had to do for the bulk of the second half of the movie was because Ben Affleck's character, whether in or out of character, that's something that we can get to in a minute.
Hey, I like that.
decided to steal all this extra money because they found it, which then fucked up the helicopter, which then made it crash, and then they had to walk.
Well, hold on. Now we're jumping ahead because this movie sets itself up pretty easily enough to where, hey, here's the plan. It's Oscar Isaac going around getting the band back together and saying, hey, I got one last job. Oh, I can't. I remember telling you, I got one last job, man. It's going to be enough money. You'll never have to do another job again. You know, so we've heard that.
Yeah, a la Fast and Furious. Yeah.
A la every fucking action movie in the last 20 years.
Yes.
Anyway, when it comes to that type of thing, gets the band back together, and you can already tell because the way they're setting it up is like, oh yeah, this is easy, this is cut, paste, this is simple, get in, grab the money, get out, get on the plane, fuck bitches, you know, all that other stuff like that. And so you can already tell like, okay, this is set up for disaster. This is what that is, right? You already can tell from that. And given the time of the movie, this movie's what, 2 hours, something like that, too.
2 hours and 5 minutes. Yeah.
A lot of the action happens early on, so you like, how are they going to fill all this? Especially because they somewhat complete the mission very early on.
Within the first hour. Yes. I do
yeah.
want to talk about the beginning of the film, though, Eric, to go on for you on that. The beginning of the film did get me. The action scene. We are in, South America in the beginning of the film?
Yeah, I think Brazil technically, but yes.
And Oscar Isaac is there, and he's a mercenary, and he's with the local policia, and they're knocking down this building that has drug lords in it, or just drug dealers, essentially, and they blow it all to hell. And there was this woman there that's giving him the stink eye. I'm trying to figure out why she gave him the stink eye. And then all of a sudden, we have a big chase, really into it. Kind of brought me back to Skyfall.
Sure.
With that chase scene. And then you find out the only part of the movie where it got me, where the woman that was saved in the beginning of the movie was Oscar Isaac's informant / lover. Now the movie
which they established.
Yeah. Now the movie contradicts itself, where we get into the Sons of Anarchy guy who says, hey, you guys are going to retire here. He speaks in front of a group of ex-military. You guys are going to get offers to be mercenaries. Don't do it. Don't be duped like I am. Have a good day. And then he runs into Oscar Isaac and says, hey, I got a job for you. Okay, get Ben Affleck and I'll do it. That's probably what he said when the producers came to him, too. I won't do it unless Ben Affleck's in it. It's total contradiction of what the character was. Bullshit.
But, I mean, I think all of them were like that, too, because in that same note as I'm reading a lot of these, too, Ben Affleck's character, when they were mid-heist or mid-audible or after the call, I guess, and he was saying, all right, I need you to call out your kills, and then he proceeds to not call out any of his kills.
Yeah.
So, little things like that. But that's nitpicking, I think, for the most part. Even though this is a movie that is, it does never really highlights to be completely accurate or in detail, but, movies that often tend to have those little inaccuracies.
Well,
I mean, go ahead.
Jordan, here's the thing. I don't know that that's out of character for Charlie Hunnam's character at the beginning of the movie. Was it Ironhead? That was his name. I don't know that it was out of character because they built it up. They built it up almost too quickly. I think he was basically saying, "You're all going to get offers to go be mercenaries. Don't be a mercenary. It sucks." But he has no option because him, like the rest of like Red Fly, like his brother who's fighting, like Catfish. They have nothing else to do with their lives. They're warriors. This is who they are. They don't know how else to be. And they they even say, he even says, at that particular moment, he even says something along the lines of they break us down. They break you down to build you up to make you a warrior. And then when you aren't a warrior anymore, you don't know what to do with your life. So, yeah. I mean, I think it's more in character for everybody except for Ben Affleck's character.
Interesting point.
They had a opening text too. That was saying, right, that war or like the act of killing it's biological, right? It changes you. So this is kind of going almost with the same lines of the Captain Bigelow movie Hurt Locker, where it's just once you're exposed to it, you are rewired to it, and you can't really rewire yourself back from it. And I think that's what this movie is trying to highlight perfectly with Ben Affleck's character, because he started off reluctant and being like, well, no, I should do the family thing. And then he slowly kind of gets back into that crack addiction until we get to the part where obviously it goes full tilt in The Office, in where he's Laredo's office or whatever that guy's name is.
Now, they keep on saying, to add on that, Ed, though, you are correct, because they keep on saying at the beginning of the movie, before they do their mission, all of them say it, besides Ben Affleck, we are trained to do what we do. Why don't we use what we're trained to do to our advantages and get these jobs done? That's a very interesting point. But Oscar Isaac is a little bit of a sleazeball. He says he's going to pay all these guys $17 million from the government down there. 17,000 to do a recon mission down there to scope out the area just to get some intel. Turn to find out that he is not employed by the government at all down there, and he's actually given them $17,000 out of his own money because he personally wants to take down this drug lord for destroying his home country.
You missed the point there. You missed a key point. This might be why you dislike this movie so much, because this is two things now that you've missed. He is employed by the army down there, by the military, by the government, but he is saying that the people that are his employers, A, aren't as passionate as him about getting him, or B, they don't, they're corrupted by him. So he has to go outside of the government, those who employ him, in order to get what he is passionate about done. In the meantime, he sees an opportunity for these guys, his bros, his best friends from back in the time when they were all in the military together, and the best around, the Green Beret Avengers, or whatever the hell they were, the Marine Avengers.
Sure.
He goes, he knows that these are the guys that can get done what he wants to get done, and he does have an opportunity, sure, to be a sleazeball and to make what he believes to be $75 million, and the government will give him a cut of it. The 25 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, 25%. Yes, I'm sorry. To hire and do whatever he wants with. So yeah, he goes and gets these friends of his, but he pays them out of pocket. Like, he gives them his own freaking money.
He's not wrong. Like, listen, everything that he laid out beforehand, and even while they were executing the plan, was fine. Everything was going according to plan. Like, there was minimal surveillance anywhere, so they could get in, get out. They got in. They secured two of the bodyguards. They had to kind of make a little mess of the one, but still no casualties, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Their big problem was there was more money, and the greed got
Ben Affleck was the problem. No, not them. Ben Affleck was the greed, because all of them came into him and said, "Hey, let's get out of here."
He was gluttonous on that part. I think everyone else, because like when you were feasting into that part, yeah, I'll take an extra fucking bag. Let's go, But there was a part where where Ironhead was just like, "Hey, listen, it's our windows now. There's way too much here, dude. Like, there's
the
no
van's full. The van's full.
We gotta go.
We gotta go.
And
nobody listened.
Yeah, and Red Flag was just like, no, listen, man, I planned out this cushion, and we got plenty. We could ride this bitch out, and it's because of that shit is where the dominoes started to fall. Like, they missed the window, and this is where all that shit goes. If they had stuck with the plan, or even actually just getting a little extra taste would have been way worth it. They just stuck with the plan, then it would not have turned out the way that it would have. And that's unfortunate, but again, that kind of goes with how it works. That's just how it be.
Yeah, and that you're 100% right. That the first plot point in the movie was not them deciding to go and assemble. It was them all deciding together to take more money. And that is Ben Affleck's false character. He was the one who said, no, I got this. I gave us the window, like you said. That it all centered around him, but them as a team all said, oh yeah, we got some. So yeah, I think, that was, in my personal opinion, where the movie started to take a weird turn.
Sure.
But at the same time, it was the builder for the rest of the movie.
You know what, this movie kind of reminded me of a horror movie that came out in the early 2000s called Dog Soldiers.
Never heard of it.
Okay.
And the only reason why I say that, just kind of, hopefully, I hope you guys, the audience, can hear what I'm trying to say. You rent Dog Soldiers, and you don't know what it is. You put it in the DVD, and it's pretty much like Predator. No alien enemy, just Marines, a bro movie, right?
Okay.
Doing a bro mission, right? Kind of like this is, right? Actually, pretty much the same goddamn movie. The second half of the movie is they find an enemy, and the enemy is fucking werewolves. So it's in the Marines in the woods doing a heist job, fighting against werewolves. Okay?
Sure. Well,
The reason why I'm
werewolves
comparing...
Teenage Cartel, you know, it's the
Right.
same thing.
The reason why that I'm kind of comparing this to Dog Soldiers is because Ed, I think you're right. The moment the movie turns is because you go into this movie, you see 6 Marines, 7 Marines, whatever. This is a bro movie. You're seeing them do a heist, which I will give them credit when they were moving through the house, when they came into the house, and when they started executing the bad guys with how they moved as a team was really fucking cool to see. It reminded me of that kind of a bro movie. And then once the greediness came around, the movie changed, kind of like a Dog Soldiers, where it's like, there's werewolves in this movie? Where it's like, oh, this has become a survivalist movie now. It's kind of like that shocker of, oh, this is a different movie than what I thought I was getting.
Well, and you also got it. And one of the cool things about that scene that, yes, it defines the movie, but at the same time, actually maybe even proves the point about the live ammo. The things that they're doing as they're running through the house. I have a very good friend of mine who was in the military and did shit. Like, this is what he did. Not heists, but like, this is how he trained to do this kinds of stuff. And him and I were talking about it, and he says that when you're going to do something like that, an assassination or something along those lines, you have 2 or 3 of you that are in a line, and put your arm on the guy. And as you put A, for him to know you're there, and B, so that you can travel through the house. And if the guy in front of you goes down, you're right there, you're next in line. So as he's going down, you can shoot. Right? And then they cross over through the houses. And yes, call out your kills. I don't want any, we know we have X number or whatever the number is. Call out your kills. So that way you can all count together. And you know how many people there are left in the house. So you don't have to be underprepared. So that was really cool, in my opinion. It was very, to say realistic probably isn't the right word, but very authentic.
It just seemed, yeah. There were no gunfights where it was just useless, just magazines going just completely unloading. The shots were single fire shots, and if the first one didn't hit, then the second one did. You know, like these. You know, they and from both sides too. There didn't seem to be any stormtrooper shots.
Right? Yeah.
Nice. But then Ben Affleck does something that I actually liked. I like characters in movies, especially guys like Ben Affleck's character, where you don't like him because of what he's doing, but God damn it, he speaks the truth. So we said at the beginning of this review that Oscar Isaac has an informant. She leaves a van for them to escape the complex, the house. They escape to get to the runway. They get a chopper, and they're carrying the $250 million underneath the chopper there as they fly, and they land after they go across the border. And Ben Affleck starts to question the informant. And he says, so when you rolled after you got done having sex, he didn't tell you his name? Like, very, very cold, collected, hearted son of a bitch. And I liked that. And then they let her go, and Ben Affleck said to Oscar Isaac, you know what we should do, and they didn't do it. And by God, he's right. They should have killed her. They should have killed her and her brother, because Oscar Isaac did fuck her. He did tell her his name. Ben Affleck knew that, and they should have killed her. I thought that was a very interesting character point for Ben Affleck.
And
good.
And on that point, that's where the weirdness sort of continues, because Ben Affleck he's all about, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm above board. And then you can see his fall to where his character, they don't build the fall, it just happens. They don't acknowledge the fall, it just happens, which is, from a movie perspective, is really fucking weird. Because normally you have guys call each other out on, bro, you've changed. What in the world's happened? Now, granted, it's taken place hours after the fact, so maybe nobody's noticed it. But, like, there he goes from, I'm not going to do this. He's the last one to get involved. Don't make fun of my dirty old pickup truck, to wanting to murder an innocent woman because she's the only connection between.
No. I see it differently. I don't mean to cut you
Okay.
off, but I see it as him trying to convince himself to not get back into that life. He's very unconvinced. He's very resilient and resistant towards Oscar Isaac when Pope, right, comes to him and offers him. He's like, no man, I really shouldn't. I kind of need to do this. I know it's a rough life, but like it's I got a family here. I got to work on that. And you can tell that like with the scene with his daughter, like he knows that this is what he needs to do. Like this is a duty he has here, but that he's torn because he's addicted to this fucking life, and that's kind of the theme of the movie a little bit too.
Valid point.
You can tell that once he accepts more and more that he's going back into the life, he kind of takes on that darker side.
And the more we discuss this movie, I was fully prepared, basically, I don't want to say to shit on the movie because that's not exactly what my intentions were.
Yeah.
But I was fully prepared to have a different conversation than I'm having, and the fact that I've sort of had to defend the movie in a kind of sort of way makes the point that I'm going to make, I think, even a little bit more deep. This movie is one of the worst directed movies I've ever seen. Because the points you're bringing up and the points that I'm defending and the points that Jordan's bringing up, like, the story's absolutely there. The dude who wrote it, like, it's fucking there. It just wasn't brought onto screen very well.
Sure.
And the actors did their jobs. They made everything believable. You believed everything that they were saying. You saw Ben Affleck's downfall. You saw his turn. You saw why he did what he did differently than I did. Which is the job of the director, is to take the stuff that's on the paper and give it to you on the screen. The actors just take what's on the paper and say it, right? But they did so believably. I think this could possibly be one of the worst directed movies that had such great potential in the history of film.
In the history of film and maybe Movie Guys podcast.
Well, okay, sure.
Well,
we've seen some shitty movies.
Do you want to get into the
So
review?
now,
or just wrap up the ending real quick?
Well, not yet, because we got a big thing at the end. But they leave the girl go. They're going over the mountains. They have too much weight. They're gonna dump $5 million out of the back of it. They still are carrying too much weight. They crash land into this gully of cocaine farmers. Ben Affleck goes crazy again and kills a bunch of cocaine farmers. And now they have to travel to get to the ocean to get out of the shit. And while they're traveling, one of the farmer's sons kills Ben Affleck out of revenge.
Well,
So
I think you're also missing in that part too. Is just like the struggle that ever since they've left the compound with all that extra money, the further they go, the more money they're losing because of its tax of weight. You know what I mean? Because it's too much. Because they're completely unprepared. Right?
Good.
They're completely unprepared of all of it, and so ever they go, they lose it in a helicopter, they lose it in a donkey, they lose it because on the field because they can't carry it. They just every stop is another stop where they have to lose another million.
And think about this just for 1 second. This just popped in my head. They crossed the Andes Mountains in raincoats.
Yeah,
it's a bad idea.
That is a tough thing to do. They cross the Andes Mountains in raincoats.
Out of $250 million they collect because of Ben Affleck's greed, and Ben Affleck gets killed at the end, they all finally go back to the States, and they're only left with $5 million. And they decide to give that to Ben Affleck's family.
Split 5 ways.
Yeah.
Split 5 ways. They decide to give it all to Ben Affleck's family, and then Oscar Isaac goes back to Brazil to try to hopefully start a revolution.
Well, hang on a second. Wait a second. So they dumped the remaining bits of the money in a crevice,
Ravine, somewhere.
or something, and where the snow was going to come. And Charlie Hunnam put down the coordinates. He wrote down the coordinates for himself for whatever reason. Then at the end of the movie, he hands it to Oscar Isaac and says, "Here, go do something with this." And it's the coordinates, right?
Yeah.
Which that felt a little bit out of character. That one right there, that was out of character. But at the same time, I actually the whole time was thinking the next scene is going to be them all being old and Oscar Isaac having bags of money stashed somewhere in his house.
Nice. And then they go up to him.
Or I don't know about that, but just, something happens to where they find out he's got all this money and they just fucking hate his guts.
There you go. Let's go with you here. Let's go ahead and get into our popcorn ratings for Triple Frontier. Eric, we'll start with you first. What will be your popcorn rating for Triple Frontier?
It wasn't a bad movie. That's for sure. I enjoyed the actors in it, and it is a very bro movie, and it's just like a series of unfortunate events. How it is gradually just kind of it's just shit rolling downhill. But like I just can't. I don't know if it's the story, because I don't even know if it's the direction. Maybe it's just the choices. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just I've seen this movie before too. Maybe it's just a combination of a little bit of everything into one. But I'm okay with never seeing this movie again. It's a small bag of popcorn for me because I did enjoy it. Just all the actors played off of each other very well. The main five, they just moved really well. They acted really well. Everything that they did was believable, and I enjoyed their performances. I really did. It's a damn shame because we didn't get into the IMDb, all these trivias here about everyone who seemed to have backed out from this movie, because there's been it seemed to have gone through the grinder more than its share of times, a handful of times, really.
We'll talk about that. Why don't you give a little bit of the backstory there? Why don't you guys talk about that, and then I'll give my review.
It looks like Tom Hardy, Channing Tatum were going to be headlining instead of Ben Affleck and Oscar Isaac. And
then Ben Affleck was attached, then he dropped out, and then he signed back on again.
Let's see, Johnny Depp was, Catherine Bigelow was set to direct. She switched.
Tom Hanks was supposed to do it.
Mahershala Ali, Casey Affleck, both the Affleck brothers. Oh man, Denzel and Sean Penn were about to do this. Leonardo DiCaprio, negotiations fell through on Project Will Smith, but he was left due to doing Collateral Beauty. Oh man,
Every
Mark
actor.
Wahlberg, because he can't say no to a movie like this. But I guess he was just rumored and maybe found, I don't know, maybe open up a Wahlburgers instead.
Maybe he was too busy doing Shooter 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what this was. Is just kind of, it's a Marine bro movie. Again,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I gave it a small bag just because I don't know, if there was just maybe a little bit more action, or if it wasn't, I don't know, something. It felt like something was missing. But it's perfect for Netflix. It really is. This is a perfect Netflix movie. Bored, nothing else is on. Small bag, keep it there. Maybe some salt on top because fuck you.
All right, Ed, what will be your popcorn rating for Triple Frontier?
Yeah, so going into our archives, you can see I.O. is a movie much like this. Like, Netflix spoiled us with great stuff like Bright and A Haunting of Hill House, both of which are in our archives. But we're sort of getting back into what you think Netflix movies should be, like Mez. But after conversations with this conversation with the two of you, like, I'm actually starting to dig this movie more after having talked it out than I was actually watching the movie. Yeah. I was fully prepared just to give it a small bag before this conversation, but I'm not going to go up and say it's a medium bag. I'm going to say it's a small bag with extra butter, extra salt, extra all the shit.
Sure.
Because it was decently acted in. The story was there. I think the story was absolutely there. I made that point a few minutes ago. This is just really shitty directing. I mean, it's case in point of a movie, like you said, that had a bunch of people attached to it. It became a plague, and the only person they could get was the guy who did it, and I don't even know who the hell he was. But anyway, small bag with some extra butter, extra salt.
Controversial. This is a no bag for Jordan here.
Whoa, okay.
Bad movie. I studied film. I know what I'm supposed to look for. This film was poorly edited. It was poorly paced. It was poorly directed, and it was poorly acted. Look, it is interesting that you have a character like Ben Affleck that says, no, I'm a straight man, and then turns into a crazy man. But you don't get into, they did not earn that. You have to earn that in a movie. You have to watch the character go through a downfall. All he did was gave us cliff notes. Ben Affleck was a straight shooter all the way until he saw the money. Oh, let's get more bags. Hey, let's kill cocaine farmers. It was unmotivated, necessary bullshit that he was doing. The characters contradict themselves. This is a bro movie. My definition of a bro movie is exactly this. It's a Fast and Furious movie. There's nothing to it. There's no weight to it. There's no sense of direction to it. There's no cohesive story to it. It's called Triple Frontier because they have 3 different fucking movies. They don't know how to make it. I mean, that's just what it is. They don't know what they want to do. If you want to watch a good bro movie, check out 13 Hours about the incident in Benghazi. I can't believe I'm referring that movie because that's a Michael Bay movie and Michael Bay can suck a dick. But that's a decent movie. And that's a bro movie. So if you want to see a good bro movie, check that out. This movie's shit. This movie's just poor all the way around. It's poor. And, the last thing I want to say, the reason why I'm giving this one a no bag is because when I turned this movie on Netflix, it's 5 minutes. I want to explain to you guys how I watched this movie. I started it at 7:30 p.m. My daughter goes to bed at 8:30. So I watched the first hour, went inside, because I have a home theater in my garage, went inside, kissed her goodnight, came back out. As soon as I came back out, they finished the heist. It's like, there's an hour left? What the fuck is going to happen? Like, what are they going to do? So I was more intrigued about how are they going to drag this hour out? This movie was a half an hour too long. They dragged.
Well, there's your direction. I can't disagree with you because I think that they probably could have used that time to develop the characters a bit more. So I would agree with you completely. I told you what I had seen in those characters and the slight development that they had in their brief introductions that we had to. I can't disagree with you. And I would just say, that in those parts, they had to make a decision of action or development, and it was they couldn't do both. You know what I mean? Like it was whether it be that money burning scene too, like it could have been better spent to have like more of a man-on-man conflict,
right?
Or the man versus man conflict between each other. Yeah. But either way, that's the movie that we got.
Yeah, movie we got. Well, thank you everybody for listening to this most recent episode of Movie Guys Podcast. But before we go real quick, hey Eric.
Hey Jordan.
Do you like beer?
I do like beer, yeah.
I like beer. Do you like wine?
Yeah, I like wine.
I like wine. Ed, why don't you tell us where we can get some awesome beer and wine at?
So there's the awesome place called InsideTheCellar.com. It's literally Amazon for your alcohol needs, but it goes a little bit further. Rather than just giving you things that they think should be paired with the other things you bought, it gives you things that go with the proper things you're going to want to eat and do with them. Yes, it is a pairing. So they have craft beer that you wouldn't be likely to get in your region, including Stone Cold Steve Austin's Broken Skull IPA. They have wines that wouldn't necessarily be available in your region. So if you like expand your horizons, if you want to try new things, if you want to try things and based upon suggestions of professionals. InsideTheCellar.com is definitely the place to go.
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody so much for checking us out. And continue to listen to us on MovieGuysPodcast.com, MovieGuysPodcast.podbean.com. Follow us on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram. Just search for Movie Guys Podcast and download mini episodes at MovieGuysPodcast.com and also MovieGuysPodbean.com and also on Spotify, on iHeartRadio, and iTunes. Thank you so much for listening to us, and we'll be back next week for another awesome episode. Have a good night.